Hi everyone, a very warm welcome to another expert talk, this time on how do you build web applications for billion-dollar companies. A very interesting topic, I'm very excited to talk about it. And today we have with us Mr. Sukumar Honkote. A warm welcome to you.
Thank you for inviting me over here.
Sukumar is a senior architect with Delivery Solutions during his stint with Delivery Solutions, he's been part of onboarding billion-dollar clients and building web applications for them. So he graduated from IIT Bombay with a dual degree in chemistry and then switched to software engineering. Very, very happy to have you here. Again, a warm welcome to you. Please tell us a little more about yourself. How did this transition into software development happen? How has been your journey? And also tell us a little more about your company, Delivery Solutions.
Thank you. So basically, as you said, I graduated from IIT Bombay in 2012. And then I was working in few companies in service sector. Then I worked in a small R&D startup also. But there was a time where every IITian wanted to do be an entrepreneur, build their own company, and so that's how I started. Like I wanted to build a fitness app, and for that I was not getting a co-founder, and then I said in IIT we have this belief that coding is easy. So I said, okay, so let me start it. Everyone has said it's easy, and then I started, and that was the time when mean stack was something which was very happening, and that was the technology you had to go. If you were building something, web app or something, you have to do that. So that way I learned Android because for some mobile technology, and then backend for it I started learning mean stack. And that time we didn't have companies like OdinSchool and all to teach us what to do in mean stack. So my actually gurus were YouTube, Medium, and Stack Overflow. So everything had to be self-learned. You had to make your own mistakes. So after a lot of mistakes, I kind of built the app that I wanted, but then there was a funding issue, like no one was getting funded. So that's when I said, okay, I've got this technology experience, let me take a job in it. And that's how my journey in full stack started.
Great. Tell us a little about Delivery Solutions. What does it actually do, and why does it acquire billion-dollar customers? What is the problem you're solving?
So Delivery Solutions is a SaaS-based logistic platform. And in US, about 5-6 years ago, there were a lot of these same-day delivery providers which started, which if in Indian context, it would be Dunzo, Swiggy, Eat, VFast. In US, there are DoorDash, Rodi, Uber. And this entire market was very much fragmented and new. So they would operate in certain geographies. Everyone will not have the same feature set. Their operating models were very much different. So for a retailer to give a same-day delivery experience to their customers was very difficult across all the geographies. It was really hard, and they needed to have the development team to do all these integrations and manage that changes, because retailers, their job is it's a brick and mortar job. That's where most of their sales come through, but they do have a lot of loyal online customers. So this was a great opportunity for us. So what we did was we integrated with a lot of these same-day delivery providers, and then we had a single API through which a customer could avail all their services. So once a retailer integrates with us, everything is done through a configuration change. So they do not have to change their tech stack or not have to keep updating something to avail new features or services that same-day delivery service providers give. Even if they want to add a new same-day delivery provider, it was very much easy.
Okay, very interesting to know that. Now, coming straight to the point, how do you build web applications for billion-dollar companies? What does it take? Especially from the point of view of somebody who wants to start their career in full stack development or grow their career in full stack development. Help us understand the life cycle of how it all works.
Sure. So first is the sales pitch, where the sales executives of the company would explain to the retailer like how integrating with us would help better sales growth across on their digital space, and it also allows their custom. So Amazon has become a very big Amazon Prime, the same day service which is there. You get deliveries so fast. And that has become a benchmark for online delivery, and every retailer can't do that. So that is somewhere thing that we enable our customers achieve, and this becomes a big selling point for us.
Okay. So it starts with sales.
Yes. After that, every customer has their operations a little different, and also they may have certain product requirements, some feature requirements to match with whatever their operations are, and that's where we sit with the customer. We also look at what our competitors are doing, what is the industry norm, and then design a feature. We do not build something very specific to one retail customers, but we want to build it such that any other customer wants to use this kind of a facility, they can do it. After that is the architectural design. So all these requirements are converted into specs for UI, what kind of APIs are needed, what kind of infrastructure is needed, what is the performance requirement, security requirement, data requirement of these. So all that work is done, and then once that is finalized, it starts to go to the development team.
Okay, so this is all before the development starts. So this is where you're deciding the tech stack as well, right? What kind of technologies you should use for front end, back end, and all these kind of things.
Absolutely.
Right. Interesting. So once all this is decided, then it comes to the development stage. So could you elaborate?
So once it comes to the development stage, we start looking at what is the team that we need to build. Based on the tech stack, what skill sets and who are the available people. Sometimes we also see that our in-house team may not have certain capabilities, and then can we outsource this to a third party. So those conversations also begin at that time. Project timelines are all decided. And the development team is divided such that each team can work independently on their aspect of the product, and we are able to combine them through a shared, I would say, contract. So these contracts between small sub features are decided in the architecture level itself, so that development can happen parallelly.
Right. So there's a separate team working on the front end aspects, UI UX. There's a separate team building the databases.
Yes.
That's how it happens, and then there's a platform where all of them come together and communicate.
Absolutely.
Right? Great. So, and then I guess it's the testing phase, and then it is launched.
Yes.
So in this entire thing, what is a full stack developer's role? What does he actually do, and what value does a full stack developer have from the industry viewpoint? Having that complete skill set. How does it? How is that an advantage to them?
So full stack developers are basically, if I can give a T20 analogy, they are the all-rounders.
Right.
So if you can see, every team has these 2-3 all-rounders, and that's where they provide great value. So given any project, the team may be working maybe a bit more front-end heavy or a bit more back-end heavy. But having a full stack developer gives that advantage, and that you can adjust the person based on whatever is the work there. And also it also is very so if there is a slack in one of the projects or one of the parts of the product. So let's say front end is slowing down. It's easier for us to move a person who is working on the back end side of it. Hey, can you lend a hand over here so that we can pick up on our front end deliverables? So this is a great advantage of having full stack. And one of the things is that the language which is used in a full stack is Node.js, and that's the same language with which you're building your backend.
Right.
So we save a lot of time in, we don't have to train specifically on, what's the programming language. It's the same. And they also do understand, because they are full stack, they understand the complexities with regards to APIs, and they understand the complexities which are go in building the front end also.
Right. Interesting. Like going back to your T20 analogy, it's like when you have an all-rounder, the captain can either choose to make him bat or bowl or whatever, depending on the urgency of the situation, depending on reacting to the situations on the field. So that is the advantage that a full stack developer brings to the table.
Yes.
So companies are actually interested to hire full stack developers, right? Especially at the entry level. Is it right that as a person progresses his career, he becomes more aligned towards one of the technologies?
Yes, as a person grows, you'll find that familiarity. So it's no one as, again in a T20, no one is a pure all-rounder. He has equally great averages in both. They may be like someone may be a power hitter, but it can bowl some leg spin. So that's how even a full stack developer is. So eventually they do become, they'll have certain specializations, and they'll prefer to grow in that area. And companies do identify this, and they would also want someone who is able to, always hit a six or always take wickets. So those kind of things are always appreciated.
Right. Coming back to, we were talking about billion-dollar companies, right? What are the challenges that one can expect when you're building a web application for a billion-dollar client? For somebody who's kind of deployed to a project where he's working on such a huge client requirement. What are the kind of challenges that they should be prepared for?
So when you're dealing with a billion-dollar companies, one thing we have to understand is they have separate teams for a various aspect of even of a product. So one of the first criteria that we do face is always the security part of it, and how is our product going to be is secure in terms of so there are three aspects of that. The first part is compliance, which is your company, say, ISO certified, or SOC 2 type certified. So these are certification agencies which will evaluate your business processes. Are they in line with what is the current industry standards? ISO is something that a lot of us may have heard of. So we are also ISO certified 2013, 2022. So this certification is extremely important to say that you are a mature company and you have mature practices. After that is your compliance with regards to, let's say, GDPR. What do you do with your customer data? Are you going to sell it off to someone else? Because they may be sending these things over. And we are in logistics, so we do get customer addresses, we do get customer phone numbers, and also what are we going to do with that data? So those are very, very important questions that we need to answer. Then the third part is about all our practices. This is something which very much a company to company, it varies about. It will be all about how do you protect your own organization from breaches, etc. So security is a big aspect of it. Then second aspect is performance. So few of our APIs are integrated on websites of billion-dollar companies, and one of our customers, I can say Sephora, on their website on any product that you click on their website, you will see an option of same-day delivery, and that is powered by us. So when they came and they said, they came to us and they said, we want to integrate with this API. What is the performance of it? And we said it's 250 milliseconds, and they said that doesn't work for us. It has to be less than 100 milliseconds. So the performance implications are very, very important when you deal with billion-dollar companies. After that is the feature set. How does it sit in their operations? So that we have to work a lot. And so when these companies, they don't have like a few person who is clicking on a website, because a lot of our features are used by store operators. So you have hundreds of stores and their store managers, their store operators, they'll be using our product, and that they should be it should be easy for them to use. So the UI UX becomes very, very critical.
Scale is also important when you're working with these kind of companies.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Scale and scalability.
Yes. So one of the things we always have, we have to answer this every year, is in US there is a Black Friday which happens somewhere in November, end of November. And during that, so they'll send us a questionnaire. How is your system going to be scalable? Is it going to handle all the load that we are going to send to you? So those kind of questions we have to answer.
Right. So different set of challenges when you work with these big companies.
Yes.
Now coming to the technologies, right? Somebody wants to start off in this in the full stack domain. Can you tell what are the tools and technologies that they should learn to start off with?
So as a full stack developer, Node.js is the glue, I would say, which binds your front end and the back end, whatever you're learning. So Node.js, being very good at JavaScript is a must, and understanding the basics of it, understanding the nuances of it, like how does it deal with numbers, how does it deal with variables, and also so JavaScript has a different behavior if I compare it with .NET or Java. So that's something very important. Then on the database, I think you can have Postgres and mainly MongoDB. So which is a very important database to use. We also use MongoDB, and one of the reasons we have been successful in having all these billion-dollar companies and managing all the feature requests and all this is because of the database. Because MongoDB does not, it's very easy to manipulate the data model compared to a traditional RDBMS. So one of our a large amount of feature expansion, and we are able to give a lot of everything through configuration changes. We don't want our customers to do development just to integrate with us a lot, and we were able to do it because MongoDB, you can just add a flag and say, okay, for this customer, this feature is enabled through a flag.
Right. So Node, JS, JavaScript is very important.
Yeah.
MongoDB. Anything else?
So front-end technologies, I would say, is nowadays it's React is the most popular one. When I was learning full stack, there's always like React or Angular, but I think now React is the most popular one. So that is extremely important that people understand how that works. And Angular is also equally good. It's a fantastic. I personally prefer Angular because it sits well with object-oriented programming. But React is now the most popular one. Also, one of the things that I do feel full stack engineers do need to focus on is a little bit of AWS. They should understand how to spin up a server, because that's where everything is going to run on. How to, like one of the newest technologies which is coming about, which is nowadays a buzzword, is serverless technologies. and how to set up something serverless. How does it work? It's pretty easy. There are a lot of frameworks in JavaScript which they can use to spin up serverless technologies, but understanding how a S3 bucket works. I'm giving AWS references because we do use it, but something in Azure is equally popular as much as AWS. So
interesting. So if someone wants to get into a company like Delivery Solutions, right, get a job as a full stack developer, how should they prepare for it? What is a company actually expecting? So there are two questions. One from the the aspirants' point of view. How should they prepare for a company like Delivery Solutions? And then what are the company's expectations as well?
So from the student's perspective, what I would say is get your basics very right. It is easy to mug things up, but it's very easy to make mistakes in an interview also, and you'll get caught. So spend time in understanding the basics. One of the things that really helped me was reading Medium articles, because a lot of people would write what are the best practices when you're using something, let's say like TypeScript. So how do you use it? How do you write certain functions? And also, I think the reading best practices really do help. Then next is everyone is going to give you a coding problem. So I think practicing coding skills is very important to be able to show that you are a good full stack engineer. Then as a full stack, of course, you have to understand CSS. And without knowledge of CSS, it's very hard to call yourself a full stack. So being good at it is very important, and databases, MongoDB or Postgres, again, whichever you are comfortable with. Typically, concepts of one can be roughly, at an entry level, can be applied to the other. So one database, at least someone has to be very comfortable with. And I think lastly, the most important is be confident in an interview. Don't be scared.
Right. Although everybody is scared.
Yes, don't show you're scared. Don't show it.
Don't show you're scared, yeah. Like we say, fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
And then confidence comes over a period of time. Great. So fundamentals are very, very important,
yes.
Right? Because every company also understands that as you are deployed to projects, as you keep working, you get stronger and stronger. But then if your basics are not strong, then you're not even trainable, and that is a risk that no company wants to take. Right? So get your fundamentals strong, get the basic technologies that are required in full stack strong, and show that you're confident.
Yeah.
Great. So any other advice for people who... I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a second part to it.
I'm sorry. What does the company expect?
I think, as you said, right, we understand that a person may not know everything. If depending upon when we do, say, okay, how much experience we need, we do understand some amount of training is required. So actually, the experience number that is put out in the job description basically tells that it indicates how much we are willing to invest in training. And so if you are able to give that confidence to the company that, hey, you know what, I'll learn quickly. That is very important. So as I said, this was something from my first job. I have not learned software engineering formally. I don't have a degree on it. I learned it on my own as YouTube and all. So the first job that I took, actually, I did not do the coding test properly. So I didn't do well on it, and that was the last question. And then I was told it was over. So I went out of the door, and then I said, I was trying to think about it. I came back and said, can you explain me how to solve this? And that's what I asked. I think that triggered to the interviewer, like this person is interested to learn. So next day I got a call to join the company, although I didn't do well.
Yes, that's interesting. I think that kind of gives confidence also, that the expectation is not that you've got to be perfect, but the expectation is that you should be open to learning and be flexible and agile and quick while you learn. Great. Now, since you mentioned, right, although you didn't have a formal degree, and there's a lot of debate going on these days about skills versus degrees, right? What is your take on it?
I do believe that skills are more important. Our company has been really, Delivery Solutions is a very small company, and I think we are able to, punch way above our weight category is because we got a lot of talented, skilled people who do not come on some, great degrees. They may not hold it and all, but they've learned the hard way, like doing the work. And we've been blessed with a lot of challenging situations. So actually, those is forged by fire,
yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. Any last parting words for aspiring full-stack developers?
So I would say, as much as possible, try to build something yourself that you are not, that you are not following a tutorial or something. Try to build a web app yourself, and share it with your friends, and the friends will report bugs in your app and you will have to fix it, or they'll tell you UI features that you can add. I think, and that experience will enrich you a lot more than you are than following a lot of these videos on YouTube and saying, okay, I've done this. So you have to build something on your own. I was able to, without a proper tech degree, I was able to do it because I was building my own app. Right. So I had to learn how to do it, otherwise my app will not work. Right. So that is something I would say.
Yeah, this so true. As part of our boot camp, we focus heavily on students implementing a lot of projects, executing a lot of projects. So the teaching component as such we keep only as much as required, but the lion's share of the time we expect the students to put into these kind of things where they develop. Ultimately, it is not, no company wants to see a resume where you write, I know these skills. They want to see something that you've done. They want demonstrable skills, and I think what you suggested is very much in line with what they need. Great, lot of insights. I think it's everybody's dream to, I think aspiring software developer wants to be a part of a product company which gives them challenges, which keeps them excited all the time, and you're in that space. Thank you for sharing your insights with us. It's been great discussing with you. A lot of knowledge, a lot of insights. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for inviting me. I mean, your questions have taken me aback a lot in my journey, and I'm remembering all these tough days and the fun days. Thanks a lot.
We'd love to have more discussions with you on different topics, but that's it for now. We'll come back to you with another Odin talk very shortly on another interesting, exciting topic. And all our Odin talks will have one thing in common. How do you actually prepare yourself and how do you actually align yourself to the industry? Because OdinSchool is in the business of helping you build better careers. So that has been our focus and that will continue to be our focus. Thank you so much. See you soon with another insightful video.
Thank you.